Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to talk about the current MMOs we're on and where we stand with all of them, as well as talk about some of the upcoming MMOs that I'm potentially interested in. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started here. We're going to start with ESO. Now, ESO has had 56% positive recent reviews. I just checked right before I started filming this. But I'm not shutting down the ESO guild until I feel like I absolutely have to, until ZOS officially announces that they're shutting the game down. PAX Day, I'm not playing PAX Day personally right now, but other people in Taste of Poison are. So we will stay on PAX Day as long as other people are willing to support the clan there. Throne and Liberty, honestly, I am heavily considering quitting Throne and Liberty right now and shutting the guild down there. Why I feel that way, that would require its own dedicated video. So we'll go back to that some other time. Blade and Soul Neo, the clan in Blade and Soul Neo is pretty much dead. I feel like a lot of people just don't like the game overall. I'm personally getting on it right now just to do the Crimson Legion dailies. I want to make tier 1 with the Crimson Legion, and then I'll most likely just quit after that. I'm actually tier 2 right now, and then I'll probably hit tier 1, assuming I play every day, or almost every day, probably sometime before the end of this year. So then that'll be it for the Blade Soul Neo clan. Ion Ascend, I feel like we're pretty much just done with Ion Ascend. I mean, the fly thing was really cool, don't get me wrong, but it just didn't really hold our attention. And then, if you saw one of my previous videos, I just showed how a lot of people in the Legion haven't even logged in for over a month. So I know that the popularity within Taste of Poison has overall been when it comes to Ion Ascend. Where Winds Meet. Okay, Where Winds Meet is technically not releasing until November 14th, and today's October 1st. So, but I'm still going to include it because it's right around the corner, like, about 6 weeks away? So, we're going to try that. We're going to see how we like it. If we like it, cool, we'll move forward. If not, we'll just quit, and then that's that. Alright. So, yeah, so basically we're going to keep ESO, PAX Day, and we're about to start Where Winds Meet, and then we're just going to can Throne of Liberty, Blade and Soul, Neo, and Ion Ascend. Alright, so now we're going to talk about some of the upcoming MMOs that I potentially am interested in. So we're going to start with Bella Torres. Bella Torres, if you're familiar with the concept in Game of Thrones, where like you have multiple houses, and then there's the house, they're all fighting for the house in the center, that's essentially what Bella Torres is. But something we in Taste of the Poison need to do is we need to decide which house that we want to throw our support behind. Now, I have a dedicated video on the houses in Bella Torres, but honestly, they've changed the website since then, so that video might be outdated now. We don't know when this is releasing, by the way. It may release maybe next year or the year after that. Maybe the year after that, who knows? Definitely not this year, though. Okay. Chrono Odyssey is, like the name implies, is a time travel MMO. You're going to have this thing called the Chronotector, which allows you to pause and rewind time. And this game, I personally think, has potential. They've announced that it's not going to be until Q4 2026. But honestly, if it releases in Q4 2026, don't be surprised. If it releases 2027 or beyond, don't be surprised. I mean, who knows at this point. But I look forward to seeing what the changes they make for their next announcement. They're going silent there. Amazon's new Lord of the Rings MMO. Okay, here's the thing. Right now, we know pretty much nothing about Amazon's upcoming Lord of the Rings MMO. All we know is Amazon is developing it on the same game engine that they made New World on, but it's not going to be New World that's been, and well, a lot of people, including me, are speculating that it's not going to be a new Amazon's New World just repainted with Lord of the Rings stuff. It'll be another MMO that's not like New World, just on the same engine. I don't know how much I'm going to like this game, but considering it's a Lord of the Rings MMO, I'm going to check it out. I'm going to see how I like it. If not, just move on. Okay, Project E. Now, E stands for Eastern. So, if you've played Throne and Liberty, you probably you have at least an understanding of what Project E is. So NCSoft, before they even released Throne and Liberty in Korea, they were so hyped, so confident that it would succeed. They already started working on Project E, and they released a trailer for it. It's going to be a dark Asian fantasy MMO taking place on the same planet as Throne and Liberty at the same time, just on a different continent. So, Silicium is where Throne and Liberty takes place. But remember, Silicium is not the planet, it's the continent. Project E will take place on a different continent. But now, I know I just said I'm quitting Throne and Liberty, but we'll see how Project E does. Probably about the same. Probably about the same, just like, oh, we'll just go in, we'll check it out. Yeah, it's fun for a few months, like, whatever. How sad is it? How sad How sad is it that I can say that? Some people have speculated that NCSoft has silently scrapped Project E. I can't find anything from NCSoft stating that they've officially scrapped Project E. If you found something from NCSoft where they officially announced, not speculation from somebody else, that NCSoft has officially shut down Project E, please let me know. Alright. Well, then we're going to talk about Project Ghost. This is an upcoming MMO that a lot of people have hyped for. So, if you're familiar with the Riot MMO, well, actually, hold on, let me talk real quick about the Riot MMO. So, Greg Street, who was at Riot Games and was head in developing the Riot MMO, he had differences with the rest of Riot Games on the direction he wanted the Riot MMO to take. So, he left Riot Games to found his own studio, and then they call it Fantastic Pixel Castle, and then Project Ghost is, of course, named after Ghost Crawler, aka Greg Street. And this MMO is going to have red zones, blue zones, and yellow zones, which are open world PvE maps, procedurally generated maps, and then player, cities, and hubs, respectively. We don't know when this game is coming out. I don't know. And then with the Riot MMO, after Greg Street left, Riot decided to scrap the past 8 years of progress and then just rebuild from the ground up. So this raises the next question among me and other people, like how different from Project Ghost is the Riot MMO going to be? Well, honestly, we're going to be sitting on that question for probably at least the next 5+ years. So, since the Riot MMO progress has been scrapped, there's going to be a complete overhaul. We don't really know anything about the Riot MMO anymore. At least I don't. I can't find anything. Well, then again, I haven't even checked. Soulframe, I think, is going to be at least decent. I mean, I did play a little bit of the alpha that's currently out, and I did enjoy what I was playing. I feel like I'd have to feel like I'd do a whole dedicated video on that one, but I think there's at least some potential in that game. You fell, and then you're in this place called the Ode, and then you try to connect with nature and with your ancestors, and you try to cleanse the corruption. It's going to be a Souls-like game. I mean, there's a chance this will do well. But that's pretty much it with where I stand on this one. If there's anything you would like to talk about, please let me know in the comments. If there's any titles you think I missed, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, have a corrosively wonderful day, and I'll see you in my next video.